this one is called What Other Countries Are Told is American. I never see videos about, like, America and, like, what other people think about us. I'm an American, so I want to see. This is from JJ McCullough. Yeah. So we're gonna watch that. Let's see.
Hello friends, my name is JJ. So let me show you a photo that one of my European friends sent me the other day. It's of the American foods section of his local supermarket.
I mean, that looks about right.
I forget what country, but I've been to Europe enough times to know that sections like this are common all over the continent. Even though the resolution isn't that great, if you're from America, I'm sure you can make out a few products. We got Goldfish, Airheads, Pop-Tarts, A1 sauce, gluten-free hazelnut coffee mate. Now the question would be whether this is actually an accurate portrayal of American food or simply a heavily exoticized one. I
mean, I don't think it's exoticized. I think I see that anytime I go to the grocery store, so.
Is a term used to describe the tendency of thinking of foreign cultures only in terms of how they differ from your own. This then leads to the habit of wrongly assuming that the weirder some foreign thing is, the more culturally traditional it must surely be. So in this case, obviously Americans don't actually eat things like Oreo cereal or spreadable marshmallow fluff all that much, but they're nevertheless marketed as being super American because such products fit a certain European stereotype of Americans as a people who eat all of this decadent, high sugar nonsense.
Sure, but I mean, I would say that they are everywhere. Like, those are items that are in, like, every grocery store. They're not, like, uncommon.
That said, Americans are of course just as guilty of doing this as anyone. Many supermarkets over here have the so-called world food section, featuring imported products from other countries, often presented in some equally exoticized display. Ooh, Huto. Exoticizing goes hand in hand with the other phenomenon we talked about the other week, faux-authenticity. This is basically when you use a bunch of stereotypes of some foreign place to come up with a product or tradition that you then inaccurately present as being some normal part of their culture. Chinese fortune cookies, which are not actually a thing in China, but play into a certain exotic stereotype of the Chinese as mysterious fortune tellers, would be a classic example. Anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like for sure in America we do this. We are the problem. We do that a lot. I don't know how often other, countries do that, but we do this often. I see it all the time.
Hey, today I thought we would look at a few examples of faux-authentic American traditions as practiced by non-Americans around the world and see what they can teach us about some of the interesting ways that Americans continue to be exoticized. So I lived in Japan briefly, and while I was there, I was able to see perhaps one of the world's most infamous faux-authentic American traditions up close. Fried chicken on Christmas. So Christmas is a pretty weird holiday for the Japanese to be celebrating in the first place, given it is not remotely a Christian country. But they do, and in a mostly superficial way that focuses on things like decorations and foods above even things like family or presents. And a lot of this superficiality, in turn, is heavily filtered through assumptions of what Americans do. And
I mean, we kind of do this over here. Not everybody, celebrates Christmas for, family, get together. I mean, a lot of people do, but plenty of people, do it artificially. Just hey, let's have an excuse to get a day off, eat food. That's a lot of what this is. A lot of, it's not like it goes super into the roots of Christianity anymore. Obviously for some people, not everyone.
Currently, the Japanese have been convinced that eating fried chicken, especially KFC fried chicken, is the traditional American thing. When you're in Japan,
oh my god, this is the funniest stereotype I've ever heard of. I'm not even offended. But it cracks me up.
And you will see big ads for special fried chicken Christmas combo deals all over the place. And a lot of Japanese kids will look forward to having a big KFC feast on December 25th.
They're like, oh, bless these fat Americans that eat KFC on Christmas so I could do it too. Bro, nobody tell them. Let them have it, okay? Let them have our holiday of eating fried chicken. I do not care that it's not accurate representation. Just let them have it.
Authentic tradition
this
was
sounds
supposedly
good to
the
me.
idea of just one man, Takashi Okawara, who ran the first Japanese KFC franchise and claims to have made up the Christmas thing as a marketing gimmick in the 1970s.
And after a few years, KFC for Christmas starts to get popular in Japan. And NHK, which is a national broadcaster, comes in to interview Mr. Okawara, and they want to know if KFC is an American Christmas tradition.
We are selling Kentucky Fried Chicken so well in Christmas.
Wow.
And is the common custom in overseas?
I really wonder if it was like Japanese people who, you know, thought this, or if KFC was like, hey, we could say, you know, since we're like more of a American, you know, company, that, you know, this is a holiday and you should buy this. You know, this is an American holiday from, you know, the American brought KFC, and, you know, you should celebrate this American holiday, you know, with chicken, because Americans definitely do. I could totally see KFC like doing that as a marketing campaign.
And I would, I know that there people are not eating chicken, they're eating turkey. But I said, yes, it was lie.
He lied!
I still regret that.
I found a lot of Japanese people...
I would have no regrets. I would have none. All right? That is the least problematic lie I've heard in my life. Let them eat Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let them have it.
were quite shocked when I told them that no one in America actually eats fried chicken on Christmas, and that if anything, eating fast food on Christmas would be considered a fairly trashy thing in American culture. But then again, I'm sure that a lot of Americans would also be shocked to learn that Japanese people do not eat sushi with rice on the outside. Speaking of fast food, another wild...
From what I've heard also is like a lot of the Asian food places that like fry their rice, that's not common either. But I don't know. Does it really matter? You know, I mean, maybe it offends some other countries when we get their traditions wrong, but it doesn't offend me at all if they want to eat KFC on Christmas. Okay.
A authentic American thing I have experienced firsthand on my travels is the Dutch practice of eating what they call American-style sauce on their French fries. You can buy it at places like McDonald's or in big bottles at the store. It's not that bad. I would describe it as basically what you would get if you put mayonnaise and relish together in the blender.
Weird.
And even weirder Dutch food, however, is what they call filet Americain.
That looks terrifying.
Préparé in Belgium,
what
which
is
is
that?
a kind of pâté made of raw ground beef and often eaten on toast or crackers.
That is terrifying. That's nightmare fuel. Why is it raw? That's so scary, actually.
A lot of theories about how this weird and possibly dangerous dish became associated with...
I was gonna say, isn't that like a food safety hazard right there?
Americans. But when I was there, people told me it was because during the war, there had become this stereotype that American soldiers all ate their steaks super rare, and then the Dutch beef industry just kind of ran with that.
That one's gross, sorry. I don't know if I forgive that one. That just looks like nightmare fuel.
Almost certainly an apocryphal story, but hey, apocryphal stories are one of the key foundations upon which faux-authentic traditions are built. In the comment section of my original faux-authentic video, a bunch of my non-American friends had some fun examples of their own of various head-scratching things they've seen marketed as being American style in their own countries. For example, some of my British viewers noted that British supermarkets sometimes sell supposed American-style hot dogs in jars.
Oh my god! That's so scary! Why are they in a jar? Oh, that scares me, man. Are you pickling your weenies? Why do you do this? Oh, man. I mean, I guess it's probably not any worse than having them in the package, right? Hot dogs are already, like, not healthy for you, right?
Brine, load up on that big stateside flavor, proclaims this ad. But if hot dogs in jars of brine are too weird for you, they do also sell them in cans of...
What? Ye old oak! American-style hot dog in a can! Oh my god, that's so scary. I like how it's got the flag, the American flag and everything.
Brine as well. Hot dogs are, of course, one of the great exoticized symbols of American cuisine in much of the world, and as a result, slapping hot dogs on something is always a surefire way to market it as being American style. For example, in a lot of places, pizzas with hot dogs on them are presented as being American style pizzas.
Really? That one's a weird one. Although I feel like it wouldn't be bad to put them on pizza. We don't do that, but I feel like it wouldn't really be bad. It's just cheese.
Either sliced up hot dogs, as in this German...
Oh, that's so weird. That's so weird.
Pizza, or entire wieners, as in this one from
It's a weenie pizza. Oh my god, what? It's the whole thing. It's not even cut up. It's the whole dog on each slice. What the?
South Korea. In Italy, meanwhile, a American pizza is apparently one with bits of hot dog and French fries.
I feel like we would do that here.
Or entire wieners, as in this one from
I
South
can't get
Korea.
over this. I'm sorry.
In Italy, meanwhile, a American pizza is apparently one with bits of hot dog and French fries.
I mean, this would be not bad tasting, okay? But this is hilarious that this is what they think we eat every day. That's so funny. That is great. I mean, I'm sure they're not bad. I'm sure they're not bad. Like, if somebody offered this at a pizza place for a limited time, a lot of Americans would get it, okay? But it's just funny that they think this is like the normal, this is the normal way we do pizza.
In Brazil, they sell allegedly California-style pizza with pineapple, figs, plums, and
What
those
the?
bright red cherries they sell in cans. Though nothing can top this story from my friend Daniel. My friend was doing graduate work in Poland and went out to eat and saw American pizza on the menu. When she ordered it, it came out as a plain cheese pizza, and the guy brought a can of creamed corn and poured it directly onto the pizza right
What?
there at the table.
Oh my god, he's like, may I cone your pizza for you, ma'am? And he's like, bloop, like just sprinkling the canned corn on top. America.
Americans who had lived or traveled abroad were equally keen to regale me with horror stories about what other countries seem to think a traditional American-style breakfast entails. Among other things, they described being served breakfasts that included stuff like baked beans, garlic bread, potato salad, and of course...
What the heck? What kind of breakfast is this? Beans for breakfast? What in the... They were close, they got the bacon, they got the eggs, and then something went wrong. Why the heck are we going garlic bread?
Hot dogs. One guy even complained about being served green orange juice in China.
What in the green orange? How?
Talking of Asia, many of my Asian friends told me about a dish that is apparently common in many Asian countries, known as American fried rice.
It's always, it's American because there's freaking hot dogs in it.
Orange juice in China. Talking of Asia, many of my Asian friends told me about a dish that is apparently common in many Asian countries, known as American.
I can't get over it. You can tell it's American by the hot dogs in it. We just put hot dogs on everything, apparently.
Fried rice. This evidently consists of rice cooked with ketchup, corn, and
Ketchup?
raisins, accompanied by...
Wait, did he say raisins?
This evidently consists of rice cooked with ketchup, corn, and raisins.
What in the... it seems like they're doing a speed run, like, crap, what's American? I don't know, they eat corn over there, okay, put that in there. They put ketchup on it as a top, okay, put that in the rice. I don't know where the raisins came from, though. There's not really things with raisins on them that are super popular, like, what the...
Accompanied by a side of various stereotypical American delicacies like hot dogs, slices of bologna, fried eggs, and chicken nuggets.
Oh, just put the nuggets on top. Oh my god, this is so cursed, but it's so great. I feel like it's a good guess, They just wrote it all down and, threw it together, and they're like, American!
Plus more ketchup. But my favorite story of a authentic American dish comes from my friend Camilo in Colombia. In Colombia, we have American-style hot dogs, which are enormous hot dogs with a chorizo wiener topped with melted cheese, crumbled potato chips, various sauces, and quail eggs.
Why is there quail eggs on top? What? What are you doing? What are you doing? How do you eat this? What? Why eggs? Because, again, I feel like they're just stacking it all up. They're just stacking all the things they think we eat on top of each other. They're good enough. I don't know where the quail eggs came from, though. That's kind of exotic.
To verify this with a photo.
Oh my god.
Various sauces and
I thought the illustration was bad enough.
Verify this with
oh my god. That is so degenerate. There's f***ing seeds! It's like a poppy seed bun! Holding the dog. What in the...
a photo. Camilo continues, we named it that because of a common belief in Latin America that people in the USA eat big size foods with a lot of toppings and all of that. You can't believe how disappointed I was when I tried an actual hot dog in the USA.
Oh,
all
my.
Now let us do a lightning round of a few other much beloved, allegedly American foods from around the world.
This is great.
Amerikaners, which are German cookies with black and white icing.
I have never seen those before. They're probably good.
Similar but distinct American cakes that the Poles make, which are these little doughy lumps.
What the heck? They look good too. It looks like cornbread.
With frosted undersides.
We don't do that. Why would you frost the underside? I mean, it probably tastes good though.
American sandwich, or a pan American, which is some sort of beef and french fry sandwich that they sell in France. American salad, which is a kind of mayonnaise and carrot salad.
What? Mayonnaise and carrot salad?
And American dressing, a creamy sauce that the Swedes eat that's made of pickles, mayonnaise, and hot sauce. And
what?
Sold in tubes. Now
They're
available
sold in tubes? It's like Spam or something. What the heck?
in bacon flavor. But Faux-Thentic Americana
Wow.
is not just limited to food, of course. A number of my foreign friends were eager to inform me that these things, which I guess we would call red solo cups,
Yes.
are a subject of considerable fascination in other parts of
Really?
the world, where they are often sold as glamorous American party cups.
What? Why are they sold glamorously? Bro, these are just... We use these because they're cheap. We use these because they're cheap. That's literally the only reason.
I love this copy from this British online store.
Wow. Everything about these disposable red American cups says party.
Everything about these disposable red American party cups says
I
party.
can't.
Whether you're planning a barbecue or a wild night of beer pong and
I wonder if they like overprice them, because the whole point of people having them is just because they're, you know, they're plastic, so you don't have to do dishes, and they're cheap. And they just happen, like the Solo Cup company that made them just happened to make them in red, so that's like what we use.
American pop music, these red party cups are the perfect disposable option. Instantly recognizable from a number of American films, such as the American Pie series and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. These
I can't believe they're using like... I can't believe they're using like films over here. That's hilarious. Yeah, people buy plastic cups because they also, like, if you're drinking alcohol, you don't want people running around with glass and breaking it. Like, it's easier to clean up, and you know, you don't have to worry about people breaking your actual dishware and stuff.
disposable cups are durable enough for even the wildest of parties. In Brazil, however, they call a cup that looks like this an American cup.
Really now? What is that?
Brazilians also call placemats American sets.
Really now?
For some reason. They have a similar situation in Italy, where a placemat is known as an American tablecloth. Are placemats really that American of a thing?
I don't feel like they are.
And Marcelo, meanwhile, tells me this story. I visited Chile one time, and they have stores out there called American stores. These stores are actually just thrift stores, but they call them that because they mostly have American types of clothing, such as American football jerseys, American brands, American college shirts, etc.
Oh my god, they're just running around like I'm feeling American, and they're just wearing like American college shirts. It's so weird.
Pretty funny, to be honest. This reminds me of another wild story I can tell you from my time in Japan. There was this neighborhood in Tokyo called Harajuku that was known for having a lot of cool hipster fashion stores. And they would have these American fashion stores where they would sell like Tommy Hilfiger and Supreme and all of that. But in order to have the full American experience, they would employ these big black guys wearing, you know, do-rags and chains and basketball jerseys to stand out front of the stores and beckon the Japanese people to come in. But these guys were not actually African American, but rather literal African immigrants from places like Senegal or Ghana, who I assume were much cheaper to hire. And they would be trying to lure you into these stores with their cool American hip-hop slang, but spoken through these thick African accents from people who, in many cases, clearly barely understood English.
Oh
now,
my goodness,
in Russia,
that's so...
there is nothing the kids love more than heading down to the old theme park and riding the American Slide, which is what they call roller coasters over...
The American Slide? Oh my...
there, which is kind of
This is
ironic since
crazy.
in a lot of other European countries they call roller coasters Russian mountains.
Russian mountains?
And the historians
I
seem to
love it.
agree that they were actually invented in Russia as well. But still, I'm sure Americans would much rather be associated with roller coasters than brass knuckles, or as the French call them, American fists. Or how about
Boing American. The American fists. I don't know. I think that's great.
duct tape, which is called American tape.
I like this one too, man. I always make jokes like, time to duct tape it together.
Spain. All right, now let us close with a really good summary of what is perhaps one of the best examples of a faux-authentic American phenomenon that wound up going mainstream in America itself. My friend Christopher writes, I think one example of something that is a product of a foreign country's idea of American culture that America kind of reappropriated for itself is the spaghetti western film genre.
What?
As the name suggests, the genre originated in Italy as Italian filmmakers made movies based on a
like the
largely
Western
mythical
films.
understanding of the American West. American filmmakers then began to import the style in their own films about the American West, and it proved very popular among American filmgoers, even if its representation of the Wild West is only very loosely based on the truth. A very
Yeah,
recent
true.
film that utilizes a lot of the spaghetti western tropes
I like
is
how they
the
call it spaghetti western. That's a great title.
Quentin Tarantino film, Django Unchained. The term spaghetti western
I
is
love it.
itself also quite interesting because, as we discussed in the previous video, spaghetti has become one of the most Americanized Italian foods
Yes.
in the US. So there's
Yes.
something wonderfully poetic and circular about using the name of an Americanized Italian food to describe Italianized American history.
I know, that's what's so great about it. I feel like it's so five-head.
So I hope you enjoyed these two
That
deep
was
dives
great.
into the exciting world of faux-authentic culture. If you have any ideas of how I could stretch out this premise any further, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check out the first video if you haven't already.
Oh yeah,
and
I
we'll
didn't
see
even
you
know there was
next
another
week.
one. We'll have to look at that one too at some point. That's great. Man, those hot dogs were nightmare fuel. That was terrifying. They were putting whole dogs on slices of pizza, man. They were just throwing every American thing they could, like a speed run, like stacking them as high as they could, and then like, you know, sticking a sticker on it like, yep, that's American. That's what they do. The KFC Christmas, though, I feel like we should perpetuate this lie, because I feel like it's only a good thing that another country just gets to have, you know, a holiday based on something they don't celebrate that we have, and all they do is eat fried chicken. I see no downsides here. Aw, man. Now I want French fries on pizza. Some of them look like they wouldn't taste bad, but they would kill your stomach for sure. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum.